Yeah.
As much as I love the Eagles, as much as I love the city of Philadelphia, there was not a ounce of me that. And I know that, like, I don't know. I tried to correlate that I was rooting for both sides the whole time.
Nobody can relate to this.
Miles Teller, the actor known for his role in Top Gun Maverick, found himself at the center of a Super Bowl rivalry that was about as personal as it gets. With his close friends Travis Kelce of the Chiefs and Taylor Swift on opposite sides, Teller's loyalty to the Eagles was clear. Despite being friends with both of them, he didn't try to soften the blow of his allegiance. It didn't matter who they were playing, Miles said in an interview. I would have rooted for the Eagles even if my mom was on the field playing for the Chiefs. His loyalty ran so deep that even with his pals in the spotlight, his heart was all Eagles, and there was no turning back. As the Eagles cruised to a decisive 40-22 victory, Teller's joy was palpable, but there was a little more to it. The victory wasn't just about football, it came with a twist. There was a certain complexity in the friendships at play, especially for Travis, who had to deal with his brother Jason's mixed emotions. Jason, who had spent over 13 years with the Eagles, was in a tough spot. While he cheered for his brother, who had played an incredible season, he couldn't ignore the pride he felt for his old team's victory. In a heartfelt statement, Jason expressed his pride for the Eagles' win, but also made sure to show his support for Travis, acknowledging the emotional difficulty of the situation. Jason's final words, "Go Birds," summed up his deep-rooted connection to the Eagles despite the personal conflict.
What was it like for you watching this one?
Terrible.
Yeah. You tweeted out something.
I didn't even want to tweet it, and I tried to make it known that I was rooting for you, and it felt like I couldn't be right. It was hard to navigate because obviously I'm trying to say that I have people on the Eagles that I love, and I also have you. Some people are going to skew it and say that I'm rooting for the Eagles, and some people are going to skew it and say that I was rooting for the Chiefs or Travis. Yeah. I've always supported you.
Every step of the way. You don't have to explain anything to anybody.
This playful rivalry between friends and family members, wrapped up in the intensity of a Super Bowl, highlighted the complex dynamics of professional sports. For Miles Teller, it was a reminder of how difficult it can be to balance loyalty to friends with your love for a team. But in the end, true friendship seems to survive even when the scoreboard isn't in your favor. After the whirlwind of Super Bowl 59 and the exhaustion from Taylor's massive Eras Tour, the focus shifted to the next chapter for the couple, their much-needed vacation. Word on the street was that they were eyeing Lake Como in Italy, a picturesque spot that was rumored to hold more significance than just being a getaway. They might even consider buying property there together, offering a hint of what the future might hold. After such a grueling year, with Kelce coming off the emotional loss in the Super Bowl and Swift wrapping up a year-long tour, it was clear that both needed time to recharge. Kelce, still reeling from the defeat and the potential uncertainty about his future in the NFL, was looking forward to a relaxing break. Some have suggested that retirement could be on the horizon for the star tight end, though he has yet to make any public announcements about it. After a season full of pressure and emotional ups and downs, including the intense Super Bowl game, a quiet retreat seemed like exactly what he needed. Meanwhile, Swift, fresh off the exhaustion of her record-breaking tour, could surely benefit from some downtime as well. Having performed in front of millions for over a year, the physical and emotional toll would take a serious hit, so the idea of unwinding in a beautiful, tranquil place like Lake Como was the perfect remedy.
Have you had one of her home-cooked meals?
I don't know that I really ate the meat. This is going to sound terrible. It was one of those where like nothing sounded.
Yeah. But you're happy to be there.
Yeah. No. I didn't really eat the meal because I was 8 weeks pregnant.
Oh.
Page 6 reported that the two had been planning for this break long before the Super Bowl, knowing that Taylor's tour would wrap up in December and Kelce's season would wind down in February. With both of them feeling the weight of their demanding schedules, this trip to Italy was not just a vacation, but a chance for them to reflect on their relationship away from the spotlight. The rumors of a potential property purchase in the area suggested that their time in Lake Como could be the beginning of something even bigger, but whatever their plans were, it seemed like a much-needed break for the couple. However, things took a bit of a turn after the Super Bowl. The event didn't just test the Chiefs' resolve, it also tested the relationship between Kelce and Swift. While the couple had been portrayed as America's sweethearts, their bond was now facing a unique challenge. According to body language expert Judy James, the game and its aftermath marked a subtle but significant shift in their dynamic. During the Super Bowl, Swift, who had been seen beaming with joy as she cheered for Kelce, was more subdued in the wake of the Chiefs' defeat. Meanwhile, Kelce, who is known for his lively, confident personality, appeared noticeably downcast. For both of them, this wasn't just a loss in terms of the game, it was an emotional test, one that would reveal how they supported each other through difficult times.
God damn. It's just life, man.
I think people have been waiting to hear from you since the game Sunday. I mean, you have so many records at this point that this is like kind of like just another one.
Going into the game, I felt as confident as I ever felt in going into a Super Bowl or a playoff game or a big game in my life. And
James pointed out that while Kelce had just finished an incredibly successful season, this loss might have hit him harder than expected, especially with the defeat coming on such a huge stage. Swift, for her part, was also facing a tough moment. This was the first time her relationship with Kelce had faced significant public disappointment. James emphasized that this was the couple's true test, how they handled this emotional low. Both Kelce and Swift are used to winning in their respective careers, and while they had shared a seamless relationship up until that point, the Super Bowl loss had the potential to shift the balance. It wasn't just the game itself that had an emotional impact. The aftermath, especially when Swift was booed by Eagles fans during her Jumbotron appearance, added another layer of complexity. The Kelce family reportedly felt awful watching Swift endure such a hostile reception. Travis, who had always been protective of her, was reportedly heartbroken by the way she was treated, especially knowing how much the defeat had already weighed on both of them. This moment, where Taylor was subjected to such public criticism, served as a reminder of the unique challenges their high-profile relationship faced. Despite the boos and the loss, Travis Kelce reportedly found solace in Taylor's presence, which helped him through the rough week. He appreciated her support, and though the Super Bowl didn't end the way he hoped, it seemed like having Taylor by his side was something that made the sting of the loss a bit more bearable. The couple may have faced a tough few days, but their bond appeared stronger than ever as they navigated the aftermath of the Super Bowl together.
According to CJ Gardner-Johnson, he says Taylor Swift is not thick enough.
Like, was he just being fun and like chirping or whatever?
Yeah,
or was he like...
Did someone ask him about
Hopefully
it?
it's like that thing, don't be thangin'.
And it caused a visceral reaction from the Swifties, who are firing back with review bombs of his mom's restaurant. It'd be a weird thing to just come out and like say randomly to a news reporter.
New Heights podcast posted a post congratulating the Eagles on their win. They had to take it down because Swifties went crazy and lost their mind.
Meanwhile, Kelce's ex-girlfriend Kayla Nicole, who had dated him for 5 years before their split in 2022, found herself in the public eye as well. At the Super Bowl, Nicole was seen celebrating with Eagles fans, throwing green confetti into the air with head coach Nick Sirianni. Given her past relationship with Kelce, many people assumed that this celebration was a pointed gesture at her ex's loss. Nicole, however, took to Instagram to address the situation, sharing her thoughts on what makes the Super Bowl so special. She talked about the energy in the stadium and how the game is more than just a competition between teams. It's about the individual stories of the players and the perseverance they exhibit to reach such a stage. Nicole expressed admiration for the players' journeys and explained that despite the Chiefs' loss, the Super Bowl was a celebration of their achievements. She didn't dwell on the outcome, instead focusing on the excitement of the event and the emotions it brought out in the fans. In the midst of all the tension surrounding the game, Nicole's message about the significance of the Super Bowl seemed to provide a bit of perspective, reminding everyone that there's more to the event than just the score.
That he's not going to want to leave off of this. It just comes down to, what does Travis want to do with his life? He retires and the offers just come flooding in. Well, what does he want to do? Does he want to keep playing football? Does he want to start acting now? Does he want to start hosting shows now? Does he want to do dramas now? Does he want to do comedies now?
For Travis, however, the loss was personal. With the possibility of retirement looming and the added complexity of his ex celebrating the Eagles' victory so publicly, Kelce found himself in an emotional whirlwind. He was now reflecting on his future in the NFL, considering his next steps, while navigating the ups and downs of his public and personal life. The loss to the Eagles had brought about many emotional moments, but with the support of Taylor, Kelce seemed to find strength in their relationship, even as he faced an uncertain future in football. And just like that, what started as a typical rivalry for Miles Teller, with his Eagles devotion at odds with his friends, morphed into a bigger narrative about loyalty, love, and personal growth for all involved. Through the chaos of Super Bowl 59, both friendships and relationships were tested, but in the end, It seemed that much like the game itself, the personal stakes remained high for everyone involved. The drama, the emotions, the triumphs, and the losses, they were all part of the journey. But through it all, one thing was clear. Loyalty to friends and family, no matter the outcome, remained at the heart of it all. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.